First group of the day. Ooh, pulled that one real bad. Shibe, what's up? I felt that one. Pulled it real bad. On the bright side, if that were a deer, I would have watched it drop right in front of me. But then I would have to put another arrow in it. How's everybody doing on this fabulous Sunday morning? That's a hard shot. Zach, what's up, man? How you doing? Tell you what, I wish I were out hunting right now. What's everybody up to? It's a little high. Pulled that one. Pulled that one. Crazy how much my back hurts from shooting so much. Editing? Yeah, I have some editing to do later today. We got to edit the video of me shooting the tire on the car. Oh, sorry to hear that, Zach. Hopefully after it dies down a little, like the season opener is always crazy. Hopefully it dies down a little and you can get settled in and whack a big one. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Oh, let's not do that. Almost shot at 3 under. That would not have been pretty. Ooh, that sounded expensive. I don't like when I do that. I mean, it's nice though. It says my group's doing pretty good, or shows. Cutie Pie Cute. What's up? How are you doing on this fine Sunday morning? Three arrows, all touching. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys can see them. Turn you over a little bit, maybe zoom you in a little. Excuse the messy garage. Terrible? Well, it'd be like that. You can see them all right there in the group. I'd shoot one with a lighted knock to show you, but then I'd be like splitting some other arrows. 4 is just too many. Let me go pull those. It do be like that. It sure do. You know what? You'll have that on those big jobs, you know? But I was gonna move outside, and then I was like, it's supposed to rain. Like, I don't want to move the whole setup if it's gonna rain. I'm like, this is pretty nice. I think I'm just gonna order another deer decoy or deer target for outside. And then I need to get up in the tree to practice a little bit with some of my high angle shots today. And then I think I'm going to do the rope mod for my saddle platform. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Sounds like the daughter unit is coming in to visit. They just got back from church. What's everybody else up to this morning? We got 150 people in here. Let's get this chat fired up. It's a little high. It's still double longer, but it's a little high. You can tell I'm getting tired already. My groups are not nearly as tight. The female child unit, yep. A little while. Switching arrow setups. But I do keep both of these arrow setups to my quiver. So let me show you guys. Like, I got my hunting setup like right here, right? So I got 3 of my full length units and they're different color fletchings. So I got 3 of those, which I'm shooting split finger. They're 730 grains. And then I got 2 of my 650 grain setups in here. And that's just in case I have a doe or something at like 30 yards. Why don't I use a compound bow like a man? I don't know. Just not man enough for a compound, I guess. That's a dead deer. Zach, I know. At least I have a sick mustache. Well, Devin, here's the thing. Once I kill a buck, I get to shave the mustache off. So for now I do. Hopefully I get rid of it here real soon though. Hopefully. And we have this deal that like if you don't kill a buck for the whole season, you got to shave your eyebrows. Good luck to you too, Devin. The penetration difference on the 730 grain arrows versus the 650 is ridiculous. Shib, I do like it. I normally end up shaving it off like early, but then I grow it back out for like late season, you know? Make a challenge out of it. Like, can I kill a buck in every season? Devin, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Hey, you know, I'll probably take the crossbow out. Like, I'm not strictly traditional, and neither is Tony. His buck was with the compound that he shot so far. We just, you know, we like to push each other, like to push ourselves, and this is kind of like the next big challenge for us. So. I've already taken a doe with it. Losing an eyebrow. Yeah, it wouldn't be fun, but we'll do it live. So if you stay tuned to like the end of the season and stay with us for updates, like if I don't kill a buck, you guys are going to know about it. Yeah, that one was a little high. You're not wrong, Film Junkie. I'm at about 40 or 50 shots. I'm getting a little worn out. Hey, that was way high. I pulled that one real bad. So this one I'm going to go back to the other arrow setup probably because I'm getting tired. Should you buy a bow if your shoulder pops out of your socket? I'd probably just get a crossbow at that point. Like, if you have health issues, absolutely, like, do not put additional strain on your shoulders. All right, what do we do there? Go down a little bit. There we go. That's a hard shot. I'm just trying to gauge my gaps here a little bit. Hey, Gunter, that sounds like an Alabama issue. This is a Pennsylvania-based YouTube, so I can't help you with that, buddy. EG, I'm not worried about it. I know normally, like, you want to quit before the bad habits start, but I know what I'm doing, and I know it's a lot of fatigue. We do this all the time, so I'm not super worried about it. I need to get my little shut-off tool. Yeah, Kevin, man, like, crossbows are legal in pretty much every state now. Like, why risk hurting yourself just because you want to shoot a compound? Now, that being said, though, like, if you wanted to shoot a compound, like, you could go really light with it. I think the legal minimum is like 35 pounds. Brian, heck yeah, man. No rest here. We're constantly grinding. That's a little low. Just a tad low. Well, with how loud this is, that deer's probably trying to duck anyway. Jason, yeah, I remember you, man. How you doing? Yeah, so, like, it varies by state. I know Pennsylvania's 35 pounds. I know some states are 45 pounds. This bow right here is a 35-pound bow. I draw about 43 with it because I'm overdrawing, and I'm drawing past the 28 inches it's measured at. So you don't need a lot of weight. That's why I run a heavy arrow setup. I'm running a 730 grain arrow setup. I'd rather have the weight to punch through a shoulder than have speed, because speed doesn't help you in terms of momentum. So that was a little far forward. Pluck the string real good on that. You can tell I'm getting tired. Yeah, that's a Pontiac G8 GT. The lifter failed on it a couple. See, you know your cars. Yeah. No, the lifter failed on it, which is a pretty common issue. Although it's got 180,000 miles on it. Yeah, Kevin, the compounds now, like my compound, I have an Athens Peak 38. It's a 90% let off. Like, so if you're just going to draw 35 or 40 pounds, you can probably get away with it, but only you will know that, right? Jeff, we actually shot the tire on the car in our last live stream. Somebody donated 150 bucks. They were like, do it. And I was like, all right, send it. I was going to do the LS7 lifters in it, is what I was going to do. And then I was going to replace the cam, obviously, and then DOD delete, and then do like a big NA converter in it. So get that chop, you know what I'm saying? Sound like we hit another arrow. Back Mountain Outdoors. Thanks for joining. How are you doing on this fine Sunday morning? Random facts. Yeah, it's okay. So what I would like to do is like, I'm going to put a lift in on the other side. And then the car will be like elevated and out of the way. So I'm not risking shooting it. But we're still a ways away from that. As you can see, the garage isn't quite finished yet. So you were on for that then. Yeah, I have the short. I still have to make the short. I'm just kind of, I'm torn on how I want to edit it. I think I'm going to start out with like the shot, to start off with the shot. And then I'll go into like a slow-mo of it so you can really see it. If I wasn't thinking and I didn't move that smoker to in front of me, I would have caught an arrow to the leg. It would have been awesome. Getting the boys ready for football games, that's awesome. What I should do is I should just pop the lighted Knox into these so you can see them. It's not a Beamer. It's a Pontiac G8 GT. It's a Holden. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, she needs some love. She's been sitting here for a couple months. Yeah, so it looks like a lot closer in the video, but I would have to miss my shot by like 1.5 feet, 2 feet. Like it's not that close. And at 12 yards, I just don't think I'm going to miss by 2 feet. Stop pulling it. I'm tired. It's actually an L76 in here. The GXPs were the version that got the LS2. Oh, those arrows are touching. I mean, it needs some work. We've pulled, I don't know. I've pulled 5 to 8 of those already. Like, I don't know. I pulled a bunch of them, so. I'll call my brother up. He'll come over. It's a G8. But yeah, my brother will come up. We'll probably have some other friends up, and we'll have it done in a couple hours. Won't be too bad. Got chewed by a pit bull. Good Lord. Sorry to hear that. So I'm getting better. Like, I really struggled. This is one of the things that I think shooting so many shots has helped with. And you guys can see, like, I pull a couple shots, pull them up a little bit. But, like, my release used to be really bad. If you go back and watch some of our older lives, like, I used to pluck the heck out of the string. And I've gotten, like, really good at getting on target and then just letting it slip through the fingers. Harry, what's up? My favorite mod. How you doing, buddy? That sounded expensive. Yeah, I've got a golden retriever, and she's pretty well trained. She pushes pheasants for me. She can find sheds. She's pretty good. She just doesn't. When there's other people over, she gets excited and just doesn't want to listen sometimes. But when it's just me and her, she's really good. Call it by the real name, V Commodore. See, I say that, and then then people get mad. They're just like, oh, it's a Pontiac. Like, and whatever, dude. I don't whatever. But I agree with you. You always wanted to get into archery? Well, the way to start is just go out and buy a bow, man. Sometimes you just got to take the leap, you know? I pulled that one a little bit. Which at 12 yards, if you pull it a little bit, it's not a huge deal. Oh, hunting. Well, follow the channel. Tony and I are going to show you guys everything I do, or we do. He's been hunting for, 30 years. Tire is flat. No, Big Slim, we shot the tire on the last live. Okay, we had a guy in here, Rabbit, and he donated $150. Some other guy said he was going to do it, but he backed out. But I was like, I'm shooting the tire for Rabbit. So, Diesel, thanks for dropping a comment. You're helping feed the algorithm. I appreciate you. Back Mountain Outdoors, it sure does, buddy. It sure does. We're getting excited. We are getting excited for that. You guys got your spots all scouted out and ready to go? Yeah, that shot in the tire was absolutely epic. David, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. Were you in Ohio? I think Ohio opened yesterday. Scott G, of course. We do this every day, man. I appreciate you returning because that means you've seen us. Yeah, congratulations to anybody who's had some success in the last couple of weeks here, opening the season. It's always good to knock the rust off. Indonesia, what's up? Thanks for joining. It's got to be like nighttime there. We are located in Pennsylvania, but we hunt Pennsylvania, Maryland, and we're probably doing Ohio this year at some point too during the rut. Northeast Ohio, okay. Yeah, so you're on the Pennsylvania border then, right? Alaska, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I promise, like that helps. Every donation helps. I appreciate it. We shoot enough that I have to buy new new nocks like every 2 weeks, lighted nocks, and that's awesome. Congratulations on a 57-inch bull. Well, moose hunting is something that I've always wanted to do, but living in Pennsylvania, I don't know if that'll ever be an opportunity. I'm guessing you live in Alaska, right? Because I think unless you do a guided trip, I think only residents can harvest moose or like immediate relatives. What broadheads do I hunt with? Yes, I got them right here for you. So I'm running Easton Legacy arrows, lighted nocks, and I'm running the VPA 3-blade 300 grain broadheads, which brings my total hunting weight to about 730 grains. JFW, thanks for joining, man. Have a good one. I hope I see you again. Scored 10 pounds of beef? Heck yeah. Let's have an argument. Like, I like venison. I killed 7 deer last year. I ate all of them. I gave some of the meat away, but I mean, we use all the ground. Like, we use everything. But I like beef more. Like, and I'm not afraid to say it on here. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I like beef. I don't think, like, especially when you're talking like steaks, because like you cut off all the fat, right? Like, and that's what gives steaks like their nice juicy flavor, you know. Cosmo, I've been doing archery, so I just started hunting. This is going to be my 3rd season, so not even 3 years. I've killed a bunch of deer so far, and yeah. Jason, we don't do politics here, but I appreciate the comment. There we go. I gotta find my little tool to turn my nocks off. Like, I love venison, but I use most of it for jerky, and like any muscle meat on the deer, I'm using for jerky with the exception of the roasts. Cosmo, thank you. I've seen you in here before, I think, and you know we've been grinding away, 200 shots a day usually. 20% bear. I'd actually have to kill a bear to score some of that meat. Well, Alaska, we'll have to try it then. I'm gonna have to go kill one now. That was low. Forgot what arrow I was shooting for a second. That was silly. Yeah, deer can be a little gamey. I'm not a big fan of aging deer either. Like I get them packed up. If I shoot one, I notice my deer shot in the evening, right? So that night we quarter the animal, and then the next morning I butcher it and it's in the freezer. So I don't like aging them. I don't like the idea of letting my meat sit out, and like I know it makes it more tender, but it's because it's breaking down. Like I'm just not a huge fan of it. So that's a good question. I don't really know where you aim on a bear. I thought you aim more center mass on those. Nestor, I'll shoot the car for $300. Not really. I'll shoot the tire on the car for 300 bucks. We did that on the last live. It was insane. My favorite animal to hunt, DJ, is deer. What pocket knife do I carry? Hang on. Hold that thought. So I normally keep my, I don't even know what they call them. The Leatherman, thank you. I normally keep the Leatherman in my bag. But I've really gotten into the knives with the replaceable blades. I'd have to look at what brand I have. But I think it's like Outdoor Edge or something like that. But they're awesome. I'm a huge fan of the replaceable blades. Like for me, I don't have time to sit here and sharpen knives all the time. And at like $1.50 a blade or whatever it is, it's like why would I even waste my time, you know? Do I keep the antlers? Yeah, I get them mounted into like, you know, mounts. Right in the pump house. And then like we'll go through the woods and we'll find sheds come like end of winter, early spring. And then I usually just give them to the dog as like a reward for finding them. Chandler, we're trying. I appreciate you hopping on and dropping comments, man. That's what feeds it and it, you know, helps us grow. So I appreciate everybody here right now. Noah, have I ever had the string strap my arm? Yes, I absolutely have. I think everybody who shoots a bow has at some point. The reason being is if your arm is rotated up and you're like really gripping, that string is going to come in contact. So solution is keep your hand off at a 45 degree and turn the wrist down when you shoot and you won't have an issue. The Havilons are really nice. My buddy has one. They're nice. I've cut myself with it quite a few times. We find some sheds. It depends on where we're at. So some areas we do and some areas we don't. Let me go pull those arrows, guys. The penetration difference on the 650 grain arrows versus the 730 is insane. Yeah, George, that's what I trained my golden retriever to do. Alaska, thanks for hopping in here, man. Appreciate you. I hope you have a good day too, and I hope I see you again. The biggest buck I have a 118-inch 10-point. I shot it last year. It was my first buck. So, yeah. Year before, I was chasing some really big boys on top of the mountain, and it just never came to fruition. But I'm not mad about it. I learned a lot, and that's really the goal. I've been out chasing some big bucks down in Maryland. Me and Tony both have. He shot a 140 last Monday. We've been grinding, guys. I'm getting after it. And so like, some people are gonna be like, oh, what does this guy know about deer hunting? And like, well, I bring the energy of a new hunter. And hopefully I bring some like experience. Like Tony's been hunting for 30 years, so he's a little disconnected from some of the newer people. DJ, I've only been hunting going on my 3rd season, so it's not even 3 years. But I think me and Tony make an awesome team. He's got the expertise to go out and kill big bucks, and I'm happy shooting a fawn. Like, and that's the truth. And that's kind of the attitude we want to bring to this. Yes, Cool Winder. I do remember you because your name is actually Audi, I believe. Abby, thanks. I'm trying. Well, Nicholas, yeah, for Pennsylvania, 118-inch 10-point. And, like, that wasn't a mature deer. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. It was a 2.5 or a 3.5-year-old deer. So, parts of Maryland. We normally stay up by the Pennsylvania border. do that. I don't know if you guys saw, I like lifted. Oh. Whew. Gonna have to go find that arrow. No, I got the backstop there. It's all good. 3 deer? That's awesome. Like I said, I've only killed 1 buck, but I've killed 14 deer. So I don't consider myself an amateur. I'm focused this year on going and chasing some mature bucks. And I understand that I will kill a lot less deer. And that's the way it's going to be because I know how to kill does. I'm very proficient at killing does. But I need to like really dial in on some mature bucks and kind of prove myself, you know? Angelina, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Southwest Virginia. Yeah, you sure do. Some of the military bases down there, I follow their hunting pages, and holy crap, dude. Whew, some giants. There we go. Redeem myself after a bad shot. I'm also on like shot number 100 by now, and I'm kind of just tired. But I love the chat, so I don't want to stop. Cool Winder. I got this bow on Amazon. It's an $80 bow. I've killed a deer with it already. It's fantastic. Yeah. G Livin, thanks. I have the confidence in myself to do it. It's just like you have to be in a different mindset. And for me right now, by this point last year, I had 3 deer dead, right? But this year I haven't been chasing does. I've been chasing bucks, like mature bucks, you know, 130-inch plus deer. And so it's like, it's just a different game. I'm not seeing deer on every sit. I'm going out to where I think some of these big bucks are and trying to push in without bumping them. Angry Jesus. Yes, I have a video on this whole bow. It's like a 2-minute video, so it won't waste too much of your time. And the link is in the description for that video. Was it hard to get over my first hunt? You're going to have to explain that a little bit more. Like, what do you mean by hard? Devlin, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, like it's anybody, there's a transition you have to make, like as a hunter, right? Like I think you start off like, and you're chasing any deer, and that's a good thing. You should be. You shouldn't start off with the mindset that, oh, I'm going to kill a 150-inch slammer on my first year. Certainly not in Pennsylvania. If you're out in Kansas or the Midwest, it might be a different game. But emotionally, George, well, I mean, anybody who says there's not an emotional aspect to it when you're taking an animal's life is a liar or a psychopath, in my opinion. I do feel for the animal, but Fred Bear has a quote out there about how, you know, my arrow is an easier death than what nature offers, you know, and I really like to believe that. It's better than disease or being eaten by coyotes, whatever the case is. Victor, there's actually like 2 feet in between the target and the G8. It looks closer than it is on video. Yeah, no, you have to have respect. And I have the video out of my first deer kill with the recurve. And for me, that was a much more emotional experience because I'd spent the last like year and a half practicing and like leading up to that. Like I teared up in the video, like making the video. Like once I got to the deer and stuff, like it was an emotional event for me. Well, there goes another one. Can you guys tell I'm getting tired? I still got to shoot from the tree at some point today, but it's raining out there pretty good right now. Yeah, Troy, you are correct. Words have meanings, and you know I might be using the wrong terminology there, but just kind of answering questions, not thinking a whole lot. I like catch and release when I'm fishing. So hopefully you guys stick around till the spring. We do a lot of fishing in the spring too. So, and I'm big into fly fishing. Tony uses a spin rod, but let me tell you, he's damn good with a spin rod. How can I claim? I don't know what you mean. I'm getting so much better at feeling the tension and just like slowly building up into a release, which is what you have to do. Yeah, Troy, I don't kill just to kill. And I do feel for every animal I harvest, you know? And I think that's like, there's so many anti-hunters out there right now that like you do have to really make that difference. Jackson, that's awesome. I hope you have a good day at church. Nicholas, we fish mostly for trout in this area. We fish for carp. I love fishing for carp. They're super cool. And then we do some ocean fishing as little. We fish for sharks off the beach. So this year we really got some. I don't know. We got the short end of the straw here this year. We went on a week-long vacation. We were really hoping to get in and catch some sharks, but we caught the hurricane perfectly. So it rained like every day. The tide was awful. Dennis from Pittsburgh, what's up, you yinzer? If people don't know what a yinzer is, well, you're not from Pennsylvania. Yeah, George, it's really cool. Like spinners, I just love the explosive strike that they elicit. You know, they're super cool, and a lot of times it's a lot bigger fish too. So. Troy, I hope you get it done, man. Let me go pull these arrows, guys. Brown trout are super cool. One of my absolute favorite things is fishing at night with a mouse fly for big brown trout. I really wanted to get up to Michigan again this year on the Ausable River because I was up there a couple years ago for a military school, and it was fantastic. Exactly, G Livin. We got to harvest more deer. Nicholas, like I would love to, but I'm telling you, if I go up to Michigan, I'm going to the Ausable, man. Like I can't stay away from it. That hex hatch that comes off is unreal. Troy, we had some pretty heavy winds last night when we were out hunting. I had 4 trees come down within 150 yards of me. I hate being out on windy nights. They're great because they produce some of the best deer movement, but I hate being out on windy days. Yeah, that's what they call them, the widowmakers. I have to get more lighted knocks. These things are dying already. I say already. I've had them for like 2 weeks. The yeeter. As you can see, my form is breaking down a little bit. I shoot a lot for the live, and Tony does too. But if it's just me, I shoot 5 to 10 shots a night. I don't like shooting a lot, and I'll take 1, maybe 2 arrows out with me, and then really focus. And I've always heard the terminology like aim small, miss small. And when you start shooting a recurve, like if you pick out a dot as opposed to, you know, just center mass, like you're going to see your aim improve tremendously. Bourgeois. That's a little weird, buddy, but hey, you know. I don't even know what to say to that. Some of the comments are ridiculous. Like right there, I was trying to hit my other arrow, so like I missed by not even half an inch to the left. But yeah, aim small, miss small, learn your back tension, and then focus on your release. That was what I struggled the most with was my release. I was constantly plucking the string, and there's no easy way around it. The other helpful piece I have is start super light. Don't overbow yourself. This is a 35-pound bow, which I'm drawing to about 43. And for a beginner, this hurt me. Like, I would not do it again. Get a 20 or 25-pound bow. And lastly, bare shaft tune your arrows. If you don't know how to do that, there's a lot of videos on YouTube. But that makes a world of difference. Sadie, yeah. Well, it happens. We haven't hit the car yet, accidentally. George, good luck to you too. Hopefully we see you again. Alfredo, that's actually my name. No, I do not make my own arrows. Will, we purposely shot the car on the live we did 2 nights ago. Somebody donated 150 bucks, so we shot the tire. The arrow turned around, came back at us. Luckily, I had my smoker in between me and the arrow. I would have caught an arrow to the leg. Yeah, the eater. It's hard. Like, I'm super fortunate. The archery shop owner near us has been using recurves and trad bows in general his whole life. So he hooked me up. Without him, like, I would have probably a 5-year learning curve. So hopefully I can help other people. This is a 35-pound bow with traditional archery equipment. It's almost always measured at a 28-inch draw. So for every inch you go past that, you're adding about 2.5 pounds. Bows stack differently, but 2.5 pounds is the average. I'm drawing 31 inches with these arrows and 32 inches with my other arrows. Yeah, well, Alfredo, I almost took an arrow to the knee. It is an American with a Commodore. I'm glad you recognize that. I'll take 3 arrows touching. That ain't bad. The eater, like, we're trying. And, like, I'll tell you what, like, we've had a ton of success lately. Like, you guys are fantastic. Feeding the lives, just talking all the time. It feeds the algorithm for us. And we're really trying to, I'm not going to say change the hunting community, but we're trying to build our own hunting community of just people, like average people, because not everybody has an opportunity. Like 99% of the hunters don't have the opportunity to go hunt Kansas, where there's 200-inch giants that get 0 hunting pressure and you can go smoke them with a bow on opening day. Like, it's so unrealistic for most people. So we pretty much strictly hunt public land. We're trying to use the recurves this year, but we'll use any piece of equipment. And yeah, just go from there. Bugs, what's up, man? How are you doing? I probably should be out fishing in the rain. We have this really unique stream near us that is dammed up as a reservoir. However, they get monster, like I'm talking like 30-inch plus brown trout and brook trout that come up into the stream in the fall to spawn. It's kind of like a Great Lake scenario, but it's so local. Like, I'm not going to tell you guys what stream it is because I don't want to blow it up. But it's super cool. So you're going to see some videos on that this year. Cash. My biggest buck is a 118-inch 10-point. For Pennsylvania, it's a respectable deer, but I'm going to change that this year. We're gonna try and get a 130 on the wall. I'm going to pull some arrows. Then I'm probably gonna have to pick up some more arrows for the ones that went through my backstop and hit the wall. Yeah, I have tons of bows. I'm sticking with the recurve this year, but I will probably go out and kill a deer with the crossbow. And a lot of it to me is just sending the message that we're not going to tolerate anybody disrespecting anybody for what tool they hunt with as long as it's legal. And there's a lot of scenarios where I will be ground hunting and it's it's just significantly harder to use a recurve in a field, an open field. I plan on wearing a ghillie suit and then drawing back on an animal that's, 15 to 20 yards away. Like, I just don't see that happening. If I was in a tree line, maybe, but there's some places where these deer come out and they push to the open field because they know they're safe in the open field. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of hunting. Like, the hunting community has lost sight of why we hunt, And there's so many people who just refuse to go out and shoot a doe. And I'm like, why? Like, knock the rust off. Everhart, yeah, we don't support that logic here, dude. If that's a problem, you don't have to watch live or any of our stuff. But the hunting community is dying. It's a dying community. We're shrinking every year, and we're going to encourage everybody to get out with whatever tools are legal to go and hunt. Do I support freedom? Yeah, I support freedom. Use your wand, Remus. Not really a huge Harry Potter fan, but it's okay. I'll support it. Beautiful. And like, what bugs me is that we've developed this mentality in the hunting community. And like, the problem with it is it's addicting. Like, if you have compound people who are going to act like they're better than crossbows, yet they're using a 4 times magnifier, they're using stabilizers, you're using a release, like, you're using sights, like lighted sights, like, you're not really any better than a crossbow hunter. And nobody is better than anybody. You can hunt with whatever you want. That's why it's legal. So I'm just, we're not supporting that mindset here at all. So hopefully that answers that for everybody else. Cash, we can kill 3 bucks down in Maryland and 1 buck in Pennsylvania. Bugs, that's awesome. I remember you telling me you ordered it. I'm rooting for you, man. If you have questions, reach out. We'll help you as much as we can. G. Livin, Tony and I are both veterans here. I'm still currently in, and he just retired last year. Bugs, I used to actually shoot inside the house. It's about the same distance. It's about the same distance. It might actually even be a little more. But my brother put a hole in the wall, so the wife said no more. There's a video of that up on the YouTube too. I had the whole thing on video. Those are touching. But Steve, I don't know if that's a serious comment or not. I hope it's not, but if it is, I'm sorry to hear that. I probably would have used a gun to do it. The bow's a little harsh. I'm not saying that. I don't normally bring that up, but just because we have some other veterans in the chat, thanks everybody for their service as well. I work logistics. I'm just to support MOS. I don't feel like I really do all the work. I just make sure that we got the bullets and the gear to fight, I would love to debate you. You just said you catch, draw, and a deer. What? Rephrase that. We can debate about it. That's fine. So my whole thing is if you want to say that crossbows shouldn't be allowed in archery season, then I would argue that it should be traditional archery only. The benefit is that we have, in Pennsylvania, you can look at the numbers for the last 3 years, we have stopped the tremendous decline of hunters, hunting license sales, okay? Part of that is because we allow crossbows. It allows people to get out during a more comfortable season. It's not 20 degrees out and freezing. Bugs, I'd love to get together. You're welcome here anytime. If you want to come on the live and shoot with us, I'd be more than happy to have you here anytime. Bullseye, that's awesome. We will check you out. Shoot us a message on Facebook with the YouTube name, and we'll give you a check out. We support everybody. Everybody else who has hunting channels and post the comments. We help everybody. Bullseye, that's awesome, man. I'm just happy you can get out in the woods and you can harvest some game, feed your family a little. Everybody knows that grocery prices are through the roof. Inflation is crazy right now. So send us an email then. Our email's in the description, I think, for Pain Train Outdoors. paintrainoutdoors@gmail.com. So shoot us an email with your information. We'll definitely subscribe back to you, man. A little low. I released a little early. Yeah, I think one of our goals for this whole process, guys, is Tony and I want to be reachable for everybody. If you have questions, hit us up on Facebook or email us. Give us a little bit because our stuff's blowing up a little right now, but we will get back to you. So, Ryan, there's a lot of good videos out there on how to clean and process a deer. If you YouTube them, it's a daunting task. I would highly recommend you find somebody who knows what they're doing. Tony and I do a gutless method. So we pretty much just quarter the animal. We hang it upside down. Why do I drink Dunkin'? I don't know. It's a Sunday morning, and I like to treat myself to an everything bagel and some iced coffee on a Sunday. So make you a mod. I got you. Yeah, so that's like gutting an animal or quartering an animal is not a hard process. You just kind of have to know how to do it, and you have to go in with the mindset that you're going to get it done. If you have somebody who can help you, I would highly recommend having somebody help you. That being said, if you have a deer processor close to you and you're going to pay them to butcher your animal, call them up and be like, hey, I've never shot a deer before. I don't have anybody to teach me. I guarantee they'll be happy to teach you. Most of these guys are hunters themselves, and they're trying to pass that knowledge on to other people. They want to grow the sport because it brings them more business. So if you're going to take your deer to a butcher anyway, call them up first. Be like, hey, I'm going to try and get my first deer this year. If I bring it in, can you show me how to gut and quarter an animal? And they would probably do it. So. Bullseye, yeah, we don't do a lot of gun content, and even some of this stuff, like we get flagged occasionally. A lot of it's your wording. You got to be really careful with that. You got to be careful with what you say. So, let me pull some arrows to keep shooting for you. ALC, thank you. Heck, if people are going to send donations, I'll make everybody a mod. That's awesome. Appreciate it. I know I said it previously, but we buy nocks constantly. We buy arrows constantly because we're breaking stuff. So, Stephanie, I don't know if you're in Arkansas. If you ever find yourself in Pennsylvania and want to go hunting, one of the things Tony and I would really like to do is take some new hunters out, as long as you're okay with filming. We'd like to take some new hunters out who don't have that support group, show them how to find deer, find the sign, and then put them on a deer to shoot. Like, I just think that would be such an awesome concept, and nobody's doing that. Like, if you are out harvesting 3 to 4 deer a year and you're not giving back to the sport that you love, like, what are you doing? ALC, thank you again, appreciate it. You're in Oklahoma. You're a little far from us. But like I said, like, anybody's welcome. And we're constantly trying to get back to the sport. These lives and this interaction are the best way that we know how. So if there's any like specific videos that people want to see, like, let us know. And we'll try and explain whatever we can. Troy, thank you. You're the best. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have yet to kill a deer with a gun, but I'm going to do it this year just because I got to check it off the bucket list. I've just been so caught up. Like, I was in this mindset for the first year. Like, my first buck is going to be with the bow. And so I've just rolled with it. Like, it was a goal that I wanted for myself. And I've kind of, let the rifles collect some dust, and I'm going to take them for a walk this year. I probably won't use them for my buck. I'll probably just use them on a doe, but I have 7 doe tags for Pennsylvania still. Ryan, I did grow up hunting, but my dad was a really big waterfowl hunter. I never went deer hunting up until 2 years ago. Yeah, like I support everybody gun hunting, everybody doing everything. Bugs, thanks for dropping in. I hope you have a good day. Yeah, it's raining pretty good out here right now, which is why I'm in the garage. My only regret is not firing up the wood stove. Troy, thank you for dropping in. I hope I see you later. I'm like shaking when I get to full draw. My back is so tired. My arms are so tired, but it's okay. Keep rolling with it. Power through the pain. That's why they call it the pain train. ALC, thanks again. Appreciate you. Chris, how's it going? Thanks for the comment. That was a little high. Just a tad high. Yeah, ALC is awesome. Appreciate you. Ryan, thank you so much. You are the best now. Thank you. This stuff pays for, all the donations go right back into the channel, guys. Like, pays for my arrows so I can sit here and talk to you and shoot. Yeah, so Alfredo, we're using like gap shooting, which is where you're aiming with the tip of the arrow. And so we build our arrows, and this is the thing that took me so long to learn with the recurve. If you can build your arrows around gap shooting, and what will I do for 20 bucks? If they're bucks over 130, there's not much I wouldn't do. See what I did there? But anyway, so you build your arrows around whatever distance you want your tip-on distance to be, right? So these specific arrows are 650 grains, and tip-on means I'm aiming with, like, right at the tip, wherever I'm aiming is my tip-on distance. So that happens to be 18 yards with this arrow setup, and hopefully I explained that. We should probably do a video because we get a lot of questions on it. But if you do that and you know your tip-on distance is 20 yards, 20 to 25 is kind of the sweet spot. So I would probably say build your arrows for that. And you're probably going to be, it depends on how you're shooting. My split finger arrow setup is tip on at 25 yards, and I'm shooting 730 grains. I really couldn't weigh them down too much more. Yeah, Troy, it's a lot of just perfecting your form. And when you start out, like, having your tip on distance is really good because it gives you a good aim point, and you can just hammer away at that distance because it's easy. You just aim the tip on, right? Like, easy concept. And then you're going to find the rest of the flaws in your form. You're going to see how you're plucking the string because your arrows are impacting sideways, you know? ALC, thanks again. Yeah, so like once you get that down, build your arrows first. Like this is what took me the longest to understand because I started out and I was trying to gap shoot and I'm aiming 2 feet under what I wanted to hit because my arrows were too light. And when I say too light, I mean they were still 450 grains. You know what I mean? Whereas for this, these are set for 18 yards, and even at 12, it's only like 2 inches low. And so if you're looking to get into a hunting setup, it's fantastic because you aim for the heart of the deer, and you're not going to have that much variation from your tip on, right? And I'm sorry, I was reading the comments. How long did you practice the bow before moving to hunting live animals? With a compound, I would say if you practice for a few weeks before you go out and smoke a couple deer or whatever, that's relatively sufficient. They're pretty self-correcting instruments at this point. If you're going to use a recurve, you're probably going to want to give yourself at least 6 months. Everybody's different though. Some people learn stuff faster. For me, like the big learning curve, like I just got dialed in. I've been shooting the recurve for like a year and a half, but I just got the setup dialed in like 3 weeks. I'm sorry, not 3 weeks, 3 months before the season. And that made such a difference. Yeah, the recurve's no joke. And Tony and I will both tell you, because both of our first shots on animals were bad shots. Mine was in the shoulder and his was back above the spine. And I've killed 13 deer with a compound, and he's killed like 60, okay? So the nerves, when the first time an animal comes in, you're holding the recurve, it's different. Like for people who've killed a lot of deer, it is still different. It hits you. So that's one of the things I love about it, because I was starting to see does and like I never even got nervous. Amber, what's up? Ask away. A little high, but we're still in the long there. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting into a recurve, this is a sweet bow. It's a Samick Sage, and it cost me $80. I upgraded the string. It helps. You don't have to do it though. You can get away with the one they send. Well, Sam, so like this is like the big split in the traditional archery community, right? Like you have a lot of people who it's called it's instinctive, right? You have a lot of people who swear by that, and I can aim instinctive like without really thinking about it. Let me try and rip off a shot for you. I'll just snap shoot here. Like I didn't even anchor up to my face, like, because I just kind of knew, right? Like, my thing is, it's not. I can't sit here and say that. Like, I want to say it's not as accurate for somebody who's just starting out in the traditional archery community, like myself, where I've only been hammering away at this the last like 3 months. I've been super consistent about practicing. Like, it's easier for people to get into gap shooting because you don't have to shoot. You don't have to shoot 20,000 arrows before you're hitting the same spot every time. So it just depends on how you want to do it. Amber, I don't know if that's a joke or not, but they do actually build the strings differently. That being said, I don't know if you put it on the wrong way and it's shooting the wrong way. Switch your string. I don't know. Chase, poundage of the bow. Sorry if I miss your comments, guys. If I miss them, just drop them again. I'm trying to answer everybody. This is a 35-pound Samick Sage. It's actually a clone of the Samick Sage. They're made in the same factory, just cheaper. Okay, Amber. No, it's hard to tell because I get a lot of interesting comments on here. Yeah, no, like seriously, with like the Flemish twists, I believe that string type, there is an up and a downside. If you're having issues, just flop your string around. Yeah, it depends on who builds your bow. Yeah, $80 bow, 35 pounds. And you could absolutely kill a deer with this. I've already done it. I'm drawing about 43, but if you have a heavy arrow setup, I wouldn't even think twice about taking a 35-pound bow out in the woods to kill a deer. So anybody who's thinking about starting out in traditional archery, start super light. And you can upgrade the limbs on these. The limbs are like $40 a piece. So you get an $80 bow, start off with a 20 or 25-pound bow, and then spend $40 and get the limbs you want to use for hunting. Like, you can't beat that. It's absolutely fantastic. And then if you don't want to shoot, 45 pounds all the time, you just shoot your 25-pound limbs, Yeah, like even if you're not looking to get into hunting with it and you just want to start shooting, because for me, like the big draw was I would take the compound out 2 weeks before the season. I would shoot like 1 or 2 arrows a night and I'd be done because they're self-correcting. Like they're not super difficult to use. And I wanted a reason to have to shoot every day and get out every day. Troy, you can get every arrow you want online. I wouldn't worry I wouldn't worry a whole lot about that. I will say having a bow shop to help you like tune your arrows, like you should be bare shaft tuning your arrows. No, I didn't get a haircut. I still look like the prominent German figure. That's what everybody says to me, so it's a little weird, but whatever. Let me keep shooting. Gotta keep shooting here. ALC, thank you. Thanks again. The knock fund. Yeah, because we go through lighted knocks like every 2 weeks. It's crazy. Vengeful Ruby. Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Girl? Nah, that's a weird comment. I got a 1.5-year-old daughter, so comments like that are kind of weird, but whatever. Sam, I'm telling you, give it like 5 years and you're going to see, because right now traditional archery makes up about like 2% of bow hunters, right? And I think we're going to see that grow. Even if it's only to 4%, like everybody's about it. Like, so I started it, now Tony's into it, and now Bill's into it, and Shibe's going to get one, Tim's going to get one. Like, it's fun to shoot. Ron, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, we go through lighted knocks like crazy. We break them pretty often, especially if we're shooting together, because we aim for each other's arrows. Yeah, Ron's going to get one. Like, that's 8 hunters right there who in the past year are getting into traditional archery. So I think a lot of people they're not tired of using the compounds, but they're looking for something else. They're looking for a reason to go out and practice every night. And this satisfies that hunger, you know? Yeah, and that's okay. Like, you don't, like I said, we encourage everybody to use whatever is legal in their state, you know? Ontario, ooh, what's up? How are you doing? We were just up in Canada last month visiting some of my wife's relatives. I pulled that real bad. That's how I know I'm getting tired, because I consistently pull arrows. Yeah, if you're out in Colorado, you do have some really good hunting. You have the opportunity to go hunt elk, which is super cool. In Pennsylvania, we have a small elk population, but it's super controlled, and most people go their whole life without ever drawing an elk tag in the lottery. So that's cool. Thanks for the chat. Travis, this is not the GXP. Otherwise, it would be like a $3,200 bumper. Yeah, they're getting harder and harder to find. And if you're on some of the G8 pages, you see how quickly they get ruined. It's like every week they're diminishing. So would an arrow take out an elk? Absolutely. The guy at the bow shop that I was talking about earlier, big traditional archery guy, he uses like a 650 grain arrow, and he's only shooting a 42-pound recurve. So you can absolutely do it with a bow. Krista, that's awesome. We'll have to check it out sometime. I'd love to get up to Canada to go hunting. That would be super cool. Hunt some bear. Hunt some deer. They grow some pretty big deer up there. Peabody, yeah, we shot the tire in the last live. I'm going to put up the short today. That's what my goal is for today after I'm done editing this. It was crazy. The arrow completely turned around and came back at us. It was ridiculous. I had like the intuition right before the shot, like, let me move the smoker over to in front of me. Otherwise, I would have caught an arrow to the leg. Amber, that's awesome. The Damon Howard's a cool bows. Damon Howitt, isn't it? Damon Howitt. They're gorgeous bows. The Mambas. There might be a reason I know so much about those bows. I don't know. There might be a 3 to 6 month wait time on some of those bows. That was low. Getting super tired, arms shaking. I'd love to get 50 likes, but I think I'm actually going to shut the live down. I've been on for over an hour, which is about as much as I can handle. As far as shooting goes, I mean, I can stand here and talk to you guys all day. I don't have a problem doing that. But as far as shooting goes, like you can see, my shots are getting a little rough. My first, I don't know, 10 groups, arrows were touching every time, and now I'm all over. So just losing the focus a little too. I think that's the big thing. So, but yeah, so anyway, guys, I think I'm going to shut it down. I appreciate everybody hopping on. I love all the interaction. I love answering questions for you guys. If anybody has questions and we didn't get them answered, shoot us a message on Facebook, shoot us an email, and yeah, well, there we go. Thank you. We got to 50. You guys are the best. I love it. But yeah, if you like the content, subscribe to the channel. Amber, I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope you're getting better, and I hope you're able to shoot and maybe get out and go hunting this year if that's what you're into. And yeah. So I appreciate everybody. Like I said, you guys are the reason we do it. We're trying to build a community here, and it's going awesome. Like, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Thanks to everybody who donates. You help buy me lighted nocks so I can stand here and shoot and talk to you guys. So please subscribe if you like the content. But alrighty, guys, peace out till next time. Fist bump.